I aspire to become like Aryatara. They can't answer that one. And truly, in my heart, that's how I aspire. Okay, fair enough. You have Buddhahood. I'll just be like Jetsunma. That's enough. Yeah. Mm. They're frightened too because look, most of their students are female. If they said women cannot get enlightened, they'd be taken out and lynched. But if you go back to the, I mean, the other day I was having this argument with Kempo, wasn't I? With Kempo Losal, you know, who is very sweet, loves the nuns, really takes care of them, but he insisted that you can only attain enlightenment in a male body. It says so in the books. And all the 1,000 Buddhas, of which we've only had 7 up to now, are male. So this is why, I mean, in all Buddhist countries, including Korea and Taiwan and Tibet, there is a prayer to come back in a male body. All the nuns say it very devotedly. If you ask most nuns or women in the Tibetan tradition, do you want to come back in a female body? No, 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 I want a male body. Because the opportunities in a male body are so much greater than up until recently they have been in a female body. Even the sister of the Gyawan Karmapa said, I never want to come back as a female again. They don't listen to us, she said. And I said, all the more reason you got to come back as a female. You know, if we all desert, then what? You know, we've got to be strong and come back and help the women. There's enough men helping the men. You can get and Buddha nature, exactly that. And Buddha nature isn't male or female. I mean, exactly, exactly. The mind, when you're sitting in meditation, you're not male, you're not female. But because in the books it was written by the men for the boys, therefore, you know, well, it's written there. So this is then this becomes, and because, to be truthful, if you were born as a female in those kind of societies, it was a misfortune because you didn't have the opportunities that the men had. And you could see that, you know? I mean, the boys had all the opportunities, they could get educated, they could go forward, people took them seriously. But, you know, for the girls, it was a struggle the whole way. And so, of course, you know, I remember at the beginning when I was at this nunnery, and there was a nun who was extremely intelligent, and so they sent her down to the Tibetan school in Sarnath to study. And she was the only girl in the class in those days, the only nun there, and all these monks and tulkus. And every year she came top of her class. She beat all the tulkus, all the monks. But after 2 years, she was told, okay, that's enough education for a nun. Now come back. She was heartbroken. But, you know, she had to come back. 2 years education is more than enough for a girl. So of course you want to pray to become reborn as a male. How could you not? But now things have changed. You know, they're not perfect, but they're much, much better. And now there's no reason. If you come as a male, well, that's wonderful. If you come as a female, that's also wonderful. Makes no difference anymore. And this is what surely was the Buddha's intention. He always, the Buddha, even in almost his last breath, he said, as long as the fourfold Sangha meaning fully ordained monks, fully ordained nuns, lay men, lay women, as long as the Fourfold Sangha studies and meditates and propagates the Dharma, this long the Dharma will be strong and keep going. He didn't say just monks. And he didn't just say monastics. Right? We must remember that the Buddha is always talking about the Fourfold Sangha and how important the Fourfold Sangha is. Not just that the lay people donate for the monks and nuns, but that they study, they practice, and they propagate the Dharma. I mean, this was the Buddha's intention. So, yeah, you know, what can you say? I mean, society, even in the West, it's not just in the East, you know, it's not just the backward old East. I mean, a while back, I met this very attractive Swedish lawyer. I mean, Sweden is regarded as the most, you know, open and liberal and whatever. And she was a lawyer in a prestigious firm in Sweden, in Stockholm. And she said that when she goes to a board meeting, first of all the other directors are eyeing her up and down, how she looks, what she's wearing. And then, you know, the meeting, you know, she comes up with an idea. Nobody hears her. She's completely ignored. 5 minutes later, the guy across says the same idea, and everybody says, "Wow, great! What a brilliant thing! Let's do that." She says, "They don't hear you." And it's exactly what the Karmapa sister said. They don't listen. They don't hear you. So even today, it's, you know, women have to work twice as hard just to stay where the guys can just stroll along. But the important thing, girls, is that we should really respect and support each other. Because to my mind, what has kept women down is not men. It's the fact that women don't help and support each other, uphold each other. After all, who is the first director in the life, the first influence in the life of a little boy baby? It's his mother. So what is his mother telling him? What is he telling him, and what is she telling her daughters? You know, this is the thing. It's been shown sociologically that mothers treat even a newborn baby differently if it's a boy or a girl. Automatically they relate differently to a boy, to a girl. I mean, I'm not saying good or bad, but differently. So right from the start you're getting a different message. And so therefore it's very important that, you know, recently we were talking about bosses. And people, a lot of the women were saying they much prefer male bosses because they're not so bossy, basically. And they were saying there are two kinds of female bosses. Those who are really very cooperative and good to work with and very supportive of their staff, and the other kind who regard any other female, if they are intelligent and competent, as a rival, as a competitor, and therefore to be pushed down and to be sent away. And so while we have that attitude, you know, no wonder we don't flourish. You know, women really have to support women, and you know, that way we stay friends with everybody. But you see it all the time, you know, if you're a group of women and then a man comes in it's like the cockerel in a chicken yard, you know? Which is very sad in a situation where every women nowadays are highly educated and have a lot of autonomy. So again, this is one of the nice things about Sakidita, is that the women there all appreciate and support each other, and there's no kind of competition and rivalry and putting each other down. they come together in harmony, as the Buddha wanted, that we should all stay in harmony with each other. So, I mean, my feeling about, this whole thing is that, we need to all hold hands, basically. Support each other, respect each other. Hold each other's hand. Well, this is what we've been dealing with. How to bring into everyday life that which is learned through special insight meditation, and how does one bring it to the heart so it flows naturally with compassion at all times. Practice. It's like anything. At the beginning, it's up in the head. We intellectually understand. We intellectually can experience. But if we keep going, then eventually it goes from the head down into the center of our being. And then we become it. So that then compassion does flow spontaneously. But in the beginning, we have to remind ourselves. We have to keep practicing. It's like anything. I mean, if you take a musician, right, a great musician, when they play, if it's really a first-rate musician, at that point they themselves say that the ego drops away. They are not playing. The music plays through them. If they try to play, then it all gets messed up. But if they just drop that level of thinking and just allow the music to play through them, then it is exquisite. But how could they do that? Except through thousands of hours of practicing over and over and over and over. And sports persons likewise, they have that, what's it called, that kind of moment. That's it. Again, it's because they have practiced and practiced, so that when they do drop the ego, something so much deeper, so much profounder from within them takes over. And they do things which they would not normally consider themselves capable of. We're so much greater than we think we are. But our ego keeps us locked in this tiny little cocoon. Yes, it's a cocoon, right. We're all caterpillars, yearning to become butterflies. And we have to break out of this cocoon of our egoistic self-absorption and really, emerge. The butterfly still has a caterpillar body, but it has wings and can fly. So it doesn't mean that we completely change into another person in that sense. We still have our conceptual mind, we still have our memories and our thinking, but it's transformed. We fly. After much time spent in meditation, I feel my body mass and muscles is diminishing. Are there any other physical practices besides prostrations? Well, everybody knows. Exercise. I mean, of course, yoga itself, hatha yoga, was the point of hatha yoga was not to make the body beautiful, but to make the body ready for sitting in meditation. So not only the outer forms of our muscles, but also the inner channels and the breathing, so that when we sit down to meditate, the body is completely attuned. So we can sit without being disturbed by all, you know, our aching backs and hips and knees. So yoga is a very good practice for anybody. Our nuns do yoga. They do half an hour yoga every morning before breakfast. And even though most of the time nobody's supervising them, I mean, for all the years since they started more than 10 years ago, they carry it on. And as nuns come in, they teach them how to do it because they recognize it. It's very important. They spend all day long sitting and studying their text. They need exercise. Tai Chi, Qigong, Pilates, anything which exercises the body, go to a gym. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, pedaling away. I mean, my Lama Kamta Rinpoche, he has a treadmill and a cycle machine, you know. And the Dalai Lama gets on the treadmill every day. Nothing wrong with that, you know. We have to take care of our bodies because if our bodies get sick, then we will not be, it will be more challenging to practice sitting. So of course we must take care of our bodies. And whatever particular exercise appeals to you, some people like running or jogging or swimming. You have this wonderful ocean. Yeah, get out, get off your meditation seat and run. Definitely. I mean, it's important to keep the body exercised. I think we will leave it there and dedicate.
Vamos a las dedicaciones y saquen también el papelito que les dimos, porque esto va a ser parte de la dedicación al final. El papelito de la oración de larga vida de Tenzin Palmo. Así que vamos a la dedicación, que por los méritos de esta virtud pueda alcanzar rápidamente el estado de un Guru Buda y pueda llevar a este estado a todo ser sin excepción. La mente de iluminación es suprema y muy preciada, que donde no ha surgido surja, que donde ha surgido no disminuya, que cobre cada vez más fuerza. La visión correcta del vacío es suprema y muy preciada, que donde no ha surgido surja, que donde ha surgido no disminuya, que cobre cada vez más fuerza. Así como el valiente Manjushri y Samantabhadra distinguieron los fenómenos tal cual son, yo también dedico esos méritos en la mejor forma, siguiendo su ejemplo perfecto. Dedico todas estas raíces de virtud con la dedicación que es considerada la mejor, por los victoriosos asidos de los tres tiempos, para poder realizar todas las buenas obras. Madre Tare, liberando el samsara. Tú, Tare, liberando de los 8 temores. Tara, Madre que libera, por favor otorga el don de la longevidad. Por las bendiciones de los gurús raíz y del linaje, por los logros espirituales de los yidams, dioses y diosas, por los métodos hábiles de las dakinis y los protectores del Dharma, que podamos realizar gozosamente la esencia de nuestras esperanzas. Gendun Tenzin, eres afable, benevolente y bondadoso. Por favor, permanece con nosotros durante una larga vida. Expande tus actividades iluminadas en todas las direcciones y continúa madurando y sustentándonos a mí y a todos los seres sintientes. Desde ese momento y durante todas nuestras vidas, manténnos bajo tu tutela. Sé nuestro amigo, nuestro divino y virtuoso guía. Limpia la degeneración de la ignorancia. Ayúdanos a realizar rápidamente nuestro recorrido por los senderos aquímonos y alcanzar los 3 cuerpos de un Buda. Por la verdad de la realidad incambiable y por la bendición conjunta en el indestructible Sangha, que la esencia de estas oraciones se logre rápidamente. Y la oración para Tenzin Palmo. Gloriosa, excelsa y sagrada, quien mediante las bendiciones de las 3 joyas y las 3 raíces propaga las enseñanzas extraordinarias del linaje de significado a lo largo y ancho de todo el mundo, que vivas por mucho tiempo y que tus actividades iluminadas incrementen y florezcan.
So thank you all very much for sitting here so patiently. I hope that something that has been said in all this chatter will have been useful for you. And thank you so much. Sunma, Aileen and I have been so happy to be here in Puerto Rico. And you should be proud of such a lovely country and such lovely people inhabiting it. So really may the Dharma blossom here and be of benefit to many beings. And thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Most venerable teacher, Tenzin Palmo, we are immensely grateful for having accepted our invitation to visit our country and particularly our spiritual community. Also, thank you for sharing with us your experiences, your wisdom, and especially for your incredible advices in regards to shamatha meditation and on how to allow our true compassionate nature to arise. We feel great admiration for your accomplishments along your spiritual path, and it has been a huge privilege to have with us for the past days. May you be happy, well, comfortable, and peaceful. We also want to thank Suma Aileen for the coordination of logistics, travel, teaching topics, and so forth that had to be managed in order to make this visit a reality. Without your active involvement and responsiveness, this would not have been possible. May she be happy, well, comfortable, and peaceful. We rejoice in the merit of all benefactors and volunteers who have contributed with their financial resources, their time, talents, energy, and efforts. They are a huge piece of the cause and conditions that had to come together to make this visit a success. They were responsible for your accommodations, meals, and transportation. Their efforts also included making our compound beautiful and adequate for such beautiful teachings. Our media and technical resources also made it possible for many beings in different parts of the world to benefit from your teachings. May our benefactors and volunteers be happy, well, comfortable, and peaceful. We wish for you a long and healthy life so you can continue to lead all of us along the path to perfection. We promise to follow your valuable advices and commit to do our best to nurture the flowers in our garden while we pull out the weeds. With palm together, we beg that you please, please, please come back to Puerto Rico. Our country is in great need of the kind of contribution that you can offer to us. So we can each get closer and closer to our true nature until it completely manifests. Then we can truly benefit all beings. May all beings in every universe be happy, well, comfortable, and peaceful, including ourselves. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, it's very true that, one comes here, you sit on a seat, you go blah, 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 everybody listens, and it's all very nice. But actually, without the help of all the organizers and all the wonderful, selfless volunteers, I mean, so many ladies in the kitchen cooking, and not just sitting here listening. And I hope they're listening also while they're cooking. But I mean, and of course, Alberto translating, and so many people in all various roles that they are playing to bring together all these causes and conditions which bring together the event which happens. So I always feel, I'm the least of it, really, because so much has been happening behind the scenes to bring this all together. And so really from my heart, I say thank you to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you out there too for allowing this event to manifest. Thank you. And thank you for having this wonderful center. Ganden LING is also a very special place for people to come together. The Buddha very much praised good companionship. At one time, Ananda, again, the Buddha's assistant, he said to the Buddha, I've been thinking, poor Ananda, he's always put down. He said, I've been thinking, and I think that good companionship is half the spiritual path. And the Buddha said, no, Ananda, it's the whole of the spiritual path. The first thing the Buddha did after his enlightenment and after sitting for a while under various trees was to go off to Saranath and start a sangha, start a community. And so spiritual friends are very, very important. It doesn't just mean, of course, just Buddhist friends and we ignore non-Buddhist friends, but it means coming together of people with like values. In this world it's very difficult. Society is going very strongly in one direction and we are trying to swim upstream. And so we need companionship, we need support, we need to be with people who agree that our aspirations are genuine aspirations and worthwhile aspirations. So we need again to support each other, encourage each other, respect each other, so that we can all dwell in harmony on the path. So therefore this Dharma Center is very important also for really bringing together people who can, as I say, hold hands and walk the path together. So thank you. Thank you all very much.
Ahora vamos a ir de una manera bien ordenada, calladitos. Vamos a ir cantando el mantra de Tara de nuevo, trayéndole las ofrendas a Jetsunma. Las personas que puedan ayudarnos a sacar sillas blancas ahorita de una manera sutil, calladitos hacia afuera, pues nos ayudaría mucho porque son alquiladas. Las sillas blancas. Om Tare Tu
Thank you, my dear.
Tare
Lovely to see you.
Tu Re.
I aspire to become like Aryatara. They can't answer that one. And truly, in my heart, that's how I aspire. Okay, fair enough, you have Buddhahood. I'll just be like Jetsunma. That's enough. Yeah. They're frightened too, because look, most of their students are female. If they said women cannot get enlightened, they'd be taken out and lynched. But if you go back to the other day I was having this argument with Kempo, wasn't I? With Kempo Losal, who is very sweet, loves the nuns, really takes care of them, but he insisted that you can only attain enlightenment in a male body. It says so in the books. And all the 1,000 Buddhas, of which we've only had 7 up to now, are male. So this is why, boys. Therefore, well, it's written there. so this is then this becomes, and because, to be truthful, if you were born as a female in those kind of societies, it was a misfortune because you didn't have the opportunities that the men had. And you could see that, you know? I mean, the boys had all the opportunities, they could get educated, they could go forward, people took them seriously. But, you know, for the girls, it was a struggle the whole way. And and I said, all the more reason you got to come back as a female. You know, if we all desert, then what? You know, we've got to be strong and come back and help the women. There's enough men helping the men. You can get and Buddha nature, exactly that. And Buddha nature isn't male or female. I mean, exactly, exactly. The mind, when you're sitting in meditation, you're not male, you're not female. But because in the books it was written by the men for, I mean, in all Buddhist countries, including Korea and Taiwan and Tibet, there is a prayer to come back in a male body. All the nuns say it very devotedly. If you ask most nuns or women in the Tibetan tradition, do you want to come back in a female body? No, 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 I want a male body. Because the opportunities in a male body are so much greater than up until recently they have been in a female body. Even the sister of the Gyawan Karmapa said, I never want to come back as a female again. They don't listen to us, she said.